Hey guys, welcome back to Bonita Lifestyle Podcast. Hey guys, what is up? Today is a rainy day and I'm loving it. We've been needing some rain for reals. And a good note on that I landed on my day off, which I love. So yeah, guys, as you probably seen on the title, what do you do when life is lifing? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've been going through some moments myself. And yeah, like you question everything and it gets a little hard. You feel a little lost. So today I want to talk a little bit about that. And then have you guys also been struggling with this getting up early when it's cold? Oh my God, I've been going through it, especially when I have to go to work. Ay, Dios mío. I'm like, why wasn't I born rich? Like, oh my God, getting up at 3 a.m. to go to work. Ay, when it's cold, it's not fun at all. It is not. I be snoozing my alarm and then I feel guilty for doing that. Oh my God. And then when I'm off, I want to sleep in, but then I can't sleep in too much. But at least I don't have to get up that early. And it feels good, but oh my God, I wish I could sleep till like 10 sometimes. But then that makes me feel guilty too, so I'm like, no. 8:30 the latest, I get up on a day off. But I mean when it's cold, because when it's in the summer or springtime, I could get up like right away. Like at 6:30, I feel like I'm good, I'm rested. The latest 7, and I'm good. I like to get my morning started early because like in the morning nobody's up and I could just be to myself and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's been a struggle with this cold weather. I'm like, ay, Dios mío, and I don't like to sleep with a heater on. Like I'd rather just be rolled up in my blankets, all nice and cozy. Because then if I have the heater on, then I'm sweating, and then no. Olvídate, ¿para qué quieres? But yeah, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about what can we do when life is lifing. Like I want to talk about the things I do when life is lifing to help myself, to pick myself back up. Because sometimes it'd be like that. Like you could be going through stuff, personal stuff, or like family-wise, work-wise, or with your kids, with your siblings, with your parents. It's a whole thing that sometimes like we don't know how to deal with, right? And it's taking that moment to really take a step back before reacting or before making any decisions, that is important. So what kind of lifing situations can sometimes bring us down? It could even be like a sickness. It could, or like having a child, that's sick, or a family member. So many things that could bring us down. Or like if we're struggling with a relationship with our own family, it's hard. It could be really difficult, and Sometimes, especially when like you don't wanna, like, it's hard because like you don't want to hurt their feelings, but then it's also, you also have to stand up for yourself and set healthy boundaries, right? And it's a whole thing that we have to get situated before, or having those hard conversations, right? It could be with your spouse, with your, like I said, family, our kids. Life could always be lifing sometimes, and we just gotta learn how to cope with it. So I found some like solutions, or like ideas of things we could do, like when we're going through it. Like, and always, like, one thing I like to always say is focus on the solution. No matter how hard something can be, like, always focus on the solution. Because yes, when life is lifing, throwing chaos, curveballs, and confusion our way, just always remember there's a solution. So let's get started. So this, what I'm gonna go through right now, it's like a nine, how do you call it? Like 9 strategies that we could apply. Strategies? 9. Ay. And I can't even say it in Spanish because I can't even find the word for what I'm trying to say. Pero, like I was trying to say, let's just talk about like certain things we could do, and then I'll talk about the things I like to do, like how I cope with, life problems and all those situations. So number 1, pause and breathe. When things feel overwhelming, take a step back, breathe. You don't have to react immediately. I like that because sometimes in the moment we're so tempted to react right away and make decisions that maybe then you're gonna regret, because in the moment you're making this decision from what you're feeling, because emotions change. Like, we have to remember, emotions change. Like, your emotions in that moment could be, so high, like in anger or sadness, that in that moment you're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, and then we end up regretting it, because it's like, once our emotions calm down, we're like, oh, I could have handled it in a different way. So I like this one. This is a good thing to remember, to pause and breathe when things feel overwhelming. And then number 2, control the controllables. I like this one so much because most of the time, like especially in the moment, we get so much in our heads that we want to, like, we get overwhelmed because we're trying to control something that it's out of our control. So control the controllables. Focus on what you can manage. Everything else, let it go, or at least put it in the not my problem right now folder. I like that. That's very true. Like, it's something we could practice when it's something that's out of our control. Like when it's maybe a family member that, because I feel like most of our problems come from trying to control what is out of our control. Like, we make it a problem when it's something that most of the time could be just, letting it be, letting people be. If they want to be fucked up people, let them be. If they want to be miserable, let them be. If they want to be unkind, rude, let them be. It's so much that sometimes we want to control. And once we realize that, okay, I can't control how that person thinks, how that person feels, or how that person sees me. Like honestly, like when you take that into perspective, you literally you get your power back, because you're like, okay, that's out of my control. Let them be. And you control how you react. You control how you're gonna feel in that moment. And if you want to cry it out, cry it out. I've done that many times where I have to cry it out, because it could be overwhelming. Sometimes situations can be super overwhelming, and it's sometimes you just have to cry it out. And then make decisions that we need to make, right? Set those healthy boundaries, especially when it comes to family. And then number 3, laugh at the absurdity. Sometimes life is so ridiculous that the best response is laughter. You spill coffee on yourself right before a meeting? Classic. Yeah, so those kind of little things that we could laugh it out, right? Like when there is problems that are not even that big of a deal, and we could always just brush it off, laugh it out, and keep going. Because that's one thing that we need to remember. And it's hard in the moment, because I've been there where I have this whole list on my phone. I like to have a little folder on my phone of things to remember when I'm going through it. I titled it my self-reminder folder. And in the moment, I even forget I have it when I'm going through it. But then I'm like, okay, I breathe, and I'm like, okay, what can you do right now? What can you solve? How can you solve this? Or how can you learn from this? Or basically those are my coping skills. My coping skills is reminding myself to control what I can control. Also listening to a funny podcast, listening to a motivational podcast, maybe going for a walk, going for a run. Exercising has helped me so much to be able to navigate those emotions and things that sometimes, like I said, it's out of our control, and just learning how to use our coping skills. We have to learn how to practice using coping skills when we have something going on like that it's bigger than us, because it can be overwhelming. And when we give our power like that, it's reminding ourselves, okay, this is out of my control. Only I could control what I'm gonna feel and think, and that's it. Focus on that until and practice coping skills. Whatever helps you bring yourself back up to a positive mindset. Do that. Do whatever helps you. And then number 4, move your body. Dance, stretch, go for a walk, shake off the stress like a dog after a bath. That's true. See, what I was saying, for me, exercising, walking, moving our bodies it's a fantastic way to get out of that mindset of things that we can't control, getting out of that mindset of whatever is stressing us out, or whatever, brush it off. I mean, and sometimes it's not just about brushing it off. It's just about learning how to control ourselves. I feel like one thing I've learned um, that comes with self-mastery, if you're in that journey, to really knowing yourself, self-mastery is learning how to master your thoughts and your emotions. And once we reach that, and it doesn't mean we're not going to go through like difficult stuff, but once we reach that, mindset of like, okay, I could control what I think about this situation and how I'm going to feel, I feel like we become unstoppable. Okay, then number 5, lean on your people. Call that one friend who hypes you up or just listens without judgment. We all need that friend. We all need that, whoever that is for you, lean on those people. It's always good to have somebody that you could lean on. And sometimes, like for me, I feel like I could feel a little lonely because I don't have a husband and I don't have a big circle of friends that I could rely on or that I could trust on, because I do have friends, small circle of friends, but a friend like that I could say I could lean on, I don't really have that. And it's okay, because that has taught me to lean on my own, well, not my own strength, but God. It has helped me to really lean on God more, because I don't have that support of other people. It has taught me so much to really pray through it when I'm going through it, and lean so much on God's strength, on God's wisdom, knowing that He has the perfect plan for me, for my kids. Like, that's all I do when I can't, when life is lifing and I don't know what to do, and I don't know where to look up to, I look up to God. Right away, I'm like, okay, God, this is heavy. I don't know what to do, but I know you do. And we go forward from there. I go forward from there, and then also therapy. Like, therapy is really helpful. And one thing that, because I text with my therapist, and today I actually saved. Well, I have it saved, obviously, my message, and I like what the therapist told me when I told him what I was going through. Like, there was this one part. I mean, I'm not gonna read it all, but he told me that's a tough spot to be in, especially when the people who should be supportive just don't get it. But you're handling this with so much strength and wisdom, choosing to focus on what you can control, setting boundaries, and standing up for your well-being. That's powerful. And then he said, it's frustrating, I know, when others dismiss something so important, but their lack of understanding doesn't define your reality or your kids' reality. You know what she needs, and you're showing up for her in a way that matters. That's what counts. And yeah, like I thought, like, when he texted me this, I was just in tears. I was just in so many tears. I was like, this is what I needed to hear. And like I said, if you don't have family to support you, or a good friend to support you, there's therapy. There's also therapy. And then there's another part of the message that he told me that really God to me, and I'm never gonna forget this, because it's these moments that give you that reassurance to keep going. And we all need that. We need one another to lift ourselves up, to keep going. And so he told me, he said, hold on. You're doing the hard, important work, and I see you. You are doing the best you can, and that's more than enough. Your daughter is lucky to have you in your corner, fighting for her even when others don't understand. And yeah, that was very, very deep for me when I was talking to my therapist. And I just felt so supported, so supported. And I hope like you guys could also find that in somebody or in therapy, whatever works for you guys. And then, okay, so the next, what is it? I forgot what I called it, but okay, number 6, give yourself grace. You're human? You're human, or you're a human? You're a human, messy, beautiful, and figuring it out like the rest of us. Okay. It says, give yourself grace. You're human, messy, beautiful, and figuring it out like the rest of us. I like that. And that's one thing very important to remember, to give ourselves grace. And now that I go back to like how I was feeling before I talked to my therapist, I was really drowning, feeling hopeless, and in those moments, like, you forget to give yourself grace, that it's okay to be, messy, to be imperfect, because that's all of us. We're all imperfect. We're all flawed in some way, and that's the journey. That's the beauty of the journey, right? And that's how we help one another to lift ourselves up. And then, okay, I'm shaking right now because my room's really cold. And then number 7, reframe the narrative. Instead of why is this happening to me, try what is this teaching me? Even if the lesson is just patience while waiting in an absurdly long line. That is really powerful. And that's one thing I've been practicing for a long time, is that when I'm going through it, it's like, I don't feel sorry for myself anymore. I'm not like, oh, like, why is this happening for me? I mean, why is this happening to me? Like, because I used to think like that when I was going through, difficult moments. I would be like, why do I have to go through this? Like, I'm a good person. Like, why do good people have to go through this? And I had it really wrong. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know better. Like, because I've never had like good what is it, like good role models for me to see life different. So then I had to teach myself all these things that now I practice all the time, because like for me, especially for my kids, like, okay, I need to be that role model for them, that when they're going through a difficult moment, like they have to like, I like to remind them, and I like to redirect them in that mindset, like, okay, I know this is a hard situation, but there's a solution. Okay, we're not gonna drown, even though we feel like we're drowning in the moment. We have to navigate these waves, and we're gonna get through it. And I like to remind them that when they're going through it, and I like to show them like by my example of how I pick myself up when I'm going through it. So, heck yeah, like remember this one. Instead of why is this happening to me, try what is this trying to teach me? Because that's what life is. Life is always teaching us something. It could be through other people's situations, mistakes. We're all learning. Like if you really take your time to like notice those things, we could also like learn from others, learn from other people's mistakes so that we could be better. And it doesn't mean like you're judging them like, oh hell no, like I'm never gonna do that. Like, no, it's like, okay, like you seeing that person, you know, making certain mistakes and you know, like seeing it like, okay, like that, like it's teaching you, showing you what not to do in order to avoid in order to avoid a mistake or whatever that person did or whatever. And then the next not question, I keep wanting to say question, but it's not a question. The next thing or whatever, find a tiny win. We're on number 8. Find a tiny win. When everything feels off, do one thing right. Make your bed, drink water, send that text. Small wins add up. I like this one too. I like this one. Find a tiny win. So yeah, like when you're going through it, like I said, like doing things that lift you up. Like I said, for me, is listening to a motivational, you know, audio podcast, you know, or even a quote, you know, like on my vision board, I have all kinds of quotes where I go back to, or even on my phone, like quotes that bring me back up. Maybe like not in the moment, because sometimes like you just have to cry it out. Sometimes cry it out, or like I said, work out if that makes you feel better, or a cold shower, you know, anything to like shake you off of that mindset, right? And but yeah, like practicing things like that, like that make you feel better, you know, maybe even like, okay, taking a shower, getting ready. I feel like that's a big one for me. Like pampering myself like that, like going to get my nails done, and or like doing my hair, even just doing my hair, like taking my time, you know, straightening my hair, curling my hair, doing my makeup, you know, that helps me like feel pretty, and it helps me feel better, like when I'm going through something. And yeah, so practice those things, guys. Practice whatever makes you feel better. Remember, like sometimes we have to detach from the world. We have to detach from the family to pick yourself back up, because sometimes we're so attached to our family that we're like, oh no, but you know, like you probably feel guilty detaching from them because it's like, oh no, it's my family. No, like we have to learn how to detach from our own family, from our own kids, from our own parents, from our own, you know, spouses, if you have a spouse, to really learn how to go inward and be like, okay, how can I pick myself up emotionally, mentally, you know, because sometimes life, like it drains you like that, because you're like, I feel like we're focused so much on the, what are they gonna think, what are they gonna say, instead of like, okay, how can I feel better? How can I make myself feel better? And it's not being selfish. And then number 9, the last one, trust that it won't last forever. Good or bad, everything shifts. You've survived 100% of your bad days so far. I like that one. That's a beautiful reminder. Trust that it won't last forever. Good or bad, everything shifts. You've survived 100% of your bad days so far. That is powerful right there. And it's true, like emotions, good or bad, they're always changing. Like today you could be happy as fuck, and then the next day maybe something happens, and then you're not there no more. And it could be in an instant. That's why I feel like not taking life for granted. Like when you're happy, when you're going through like the best moment of your life, being grateful, cherishing those moments, because they don't last either. Like those good moments, those good feeling moments don't last forever. So then we also have to remind ourselves, right, that when it's going not how we want life to be going, remember that it's temporary and that you're gonna be okay. And so, yeah. Remember that, guys. Pick yourselves up. Learn coping skills that help you learn how to motivate yourself. And yeah, it's for me, it's that self-discovery, like learning how to pick myself up in those moments. And yeah, just remember, we are all loved and we are all blessed. And always keep going. That's one of my favorite self-reminders right now. I'm telling you, I have a whole list of these self-reminders that help me. So yes, we are all loved and we are all blessed. So let's just keep going, enjoy life. And yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, remember, you got this. Bye.